Hey, I'm Krista Wax. You're listening to MSP Sound on KFAI, and I'm so thrilled I have Willow Waters with me today. Hello.
Hello, thanks for having me. So glad to be here.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you. You were on the show last time you were on the show, you were promoting your new album, and here
Hmm.
we are again. There's another
Yep.
new one. Eee!
Yeah, thanks for having me on again. I'm excited to talk about the record.
Yes, let's get right into it. Tell me all about it.
Yeah. So this is a very new project. It's kind of a bit of a turn from the last record that I released last year. I feel like in sort of the story of my life, my kind of musical expression, it fits right in with how my life was moving. After the Friction album came out, I had all these tunes that had been playing and working on leading up to that album release, that were a bit more present with me, and I was just ready to start recording. So I kind of hopped right in the studio immediately, and um, yeah, it's almost entirely piano oriented music, which is a bit of a shift from the last record. Um, I don't know. There's a lot I can say about it, but in essence, it's like a long form meditation. Lots of piano improvisations. It kind of weaves back and forth between these improvisations that are um, kind of loose sketches of tunes, but kind of freely played in the studio. Just took a couple takes on each of them, um, and let them kind of live in the moment. And then it weaves between those and these like kind of fuller band songs that include drums and bass. JT Bates played drums on this record on those 5 songs. Rye Hayes, who's played on my music in the past, played upright bass. And then there's some saxophones and cellos, but much more stripped down than the last record. That's also kind of a bit of a shift. The last one was a bit more of a maximalist type approach with lots of instruments, lots of elements, more kind of composed parts and arrangements. Um, and this one's, yeah, much more stripped down, much more intimate and kind of quieter, chiller.
It is a very chill album, and
Hmm.
it's so beautiful. And yeah, it is different from the friction I demand.
Yep, that was the one from last year.
Yeah. And that, I mean, that was like felt very dramatic and like, yes, like
Hmm.
all the things you were saying, all the instruments. And then this is just so beautiful too. Like I love the contrast between both the albums here. And
Thanks.
it is just a lovely, it is. I just before we started the interview, I'm like, oh, you're just so calm, Willow. And then
Hmm.
you're talking about this album and it's like a meditate. And it is. I felt so
Hmm.
calm listening to it. And it was lovely. It happened to be raining while I was listening to it. So it was
Yeah,
just like this lovely background and uh
yeah, yeah.
congrats.
All the piano improvs have these like soundscapes in the background, and one of them is a rainstorm or like a light rainstorm. So that was fitting.
Nice. How did you, I mean, I know you said you worked on this pretty quickly after the last one,
Hmm.
but how, you know, where where did the motivation or where did it come from to be like, you know what, I just want to do this more stripped down, or was it just
Yeah,
where tunes started going as you were writing or
yeah. I feel like, yeah, I think there's clear reasons. The Friction on Demand was released last year, but a lot of those songs were written actually pre-pandemic. Almost all that music was written before the pandemic hit. Um, and yeah, something about writing music in isolation, and playing a lot of piano just by myself throughout especially the first year of the pandemic was a lot of alone time. And I had a piano in my house to play and just spent a lot of the time by myself, just composing and improvising and sitting by the piano. And in fact, all the music from this record was written in that kind of 2 year span um, during the pandemic. So I feel like it's kind of reflected in that. It was a very isolated time, very introverted, very personal time. And I feel like, yeah, the music reflects that pretty clearly.
That makes sense.
Mm.
Have explained it. Oh, that's wow, that's incredible. What's what so with a new album, there's usually a release party.
That's right.
Tell me all about it. Where,
Yeah,
when, how, what's
yeah, I'm getting
happening?
really excited. It's coming up soon. It's on Thursday, July 25th, which is coming up really quick. Um, it's at the Cedar Cultural Center, which is where I released the Friction on Demand last year. So grateful that they're welcoming me back. I love that space so much. It's probably my favorite venue in town. It's a really beautiful open room, which is yeah, really good for a kind of intimate music like this. So I'm excited to yeah, share the space with everybody. Tickets are on sale already, and you can get those on the Cedar Cultural Center's website, or if you go to my um, Instagram, it's in my bio, or my website, Willow Waters Music is how you find me. Um, and then also, there's going to be an after party, which is a fun element. We're going to, after the show's done, head over to Palmer's Bar, which is just right next door, and a couple other bands that I play in. Lake Davi will be playing. I play drums in that band. It's kind of a old country type thing. And then I play bass in Ginger Bones, and Ginger Bones is kind of hosting the event. Abby Zach, who leads that band, will be making some soundwiches, which are sandwiches kind of inspired by the sounds of the bands that are playing. Um, and yeah, so that'll be right after the release show and party into the evening.
That sounds fantastic. Wow, so you're pulling triple duty
Yep,
that night.
three sets that night. It's kind of how I want to do it. I kind of struggle with the post show, um, and yeah, I think it'll feel good just to smack some drums, kind of decompress with some more lighthearted music. This album's very personal and deals with a lot of kind of intense emotional stuff that I was working through this past few years. So yeah, I think it'll feel good to like really move through that in the Cedar space and then yeah, shake it off and just enjoy the evening.
What a great plan to have.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that there's the after. I love that it's right next door. That's
hmm
so
Yeah, I did a residency at Palmer's through the winter, kind of fall into the spring this past year. And yeah, I love that space and they have been very gracious to me and welcoming. So I'm glad that they're having us back.
absolutely. How nice. I love the Cedar as well, and what a wonderful
hmm
space to host and perform this album.
Yeah, it's the ideal space. I can't think of a place I'd rather do it.
Absolutely. And when is the album released?
Yeah, July 25th. I think
Okay.
that's yeah, mere days away.
All right. Okay. And that'll be available streaming and
hmm All the
everywhere.
places. Yep. Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp is where you could actually buy a copy of the vinyl, and if you want to throw me some dollars for the digital too, that's the place to do it. Bandcamp.
Yes, wonderful plug for Bandcamp. They're
hmm
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, anything else that you want to share with us about the Willow Waters world?
Um, what are some other things going on? I mean, outside of my own project, I'm playing in some other bands. Sister Species just dropped a single. Take Everything and Scatter It. It's the name of the song. We're getting ready for an album release of our own this fall. I think we have the date set. I don't have it at the top of my head right now, but coming up in the fall, Sister Species will be releasing a new record called Lena in the Bog. We've been working on that this past couple of years, and yeah, I'm really excited about that record too. So that's coming up pretty soon. Um, yeah, Ginger Bones is working on something, though that's a bit of a slower process. I'm not sure when that's gonna come into the world, but some Ginger Bones music is on the horizon. Um, yeah, trying to think if there's anything else going on in my world. I don't know. Skateboarding a lot, just trying to enjoy the summer.
I get it, right? We only have a
Yeah.
few months to enjoy everything. You gotta live it to its max.
Yep. Soaking it up.
I'm so excited about the Sister Species album. That is
Yeah.
what I love that band as
Yeah.
much.
Such a fun band to play with. Just an incredible cast of musicians in that crew. So I feel grateful to be part of that world.
Yes. Well, you keep very busy with all your different projects.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. It's fun to do. I'm very, very grateful to be a part of all the things I'm in. Um, yeah, it's a good town. Minneapolis is the place to be.
I fully agree. I fully agree. This is a great space for music and creativity.
Most definitely.
Well, Willow, thank you so much for your time today and congrats on the new release.
Thanks, Krista. Appreciate you. Appreciate you having me on. So good. So good to be here.
Good to be here with you.